Can you dig it?
What's up, nerds? Who's the second most overpowered hero in the game, you ask? Well, it's Captain Eudora. She's the leader of the Bilge Rats, whatever that is, but more importantly, a broken Battlegrounds hero. Why is she broken, you ask? So many questions. It's because of her hero power, Buried Treasure. Dig for a golden minion. Sounds kinda meh, right? Wrong. Her hero power is good. In fact, it's great. We'll get into that in a little bit. First, let's outline what we'll be covering in this video. This game is from a high-level lobby in North America. My account has quote-unquote decayed, for lack of a better word, out of the top 200 since I've mostly been playing on EU, but I'm about 100 points away from that mark, so don't worry, boys and girls. I'll be doing some grinding in the near future, be back up on those leaderboards soon. But back on track. What we'll be covering? A guide on how to effectively play this hero. Didn't you read the title? Jeez. Number 1. Eudora's hero power. Why is it strong and how to best use it? There is some debate on when you're supposed to start hero powering, and I'll give you my thoughts on that, but I think when to start using your hero power is still open for discussion. Number 2. Hero powering and leveling. When, why, how? Well, maybe not how. If you don't know how to level your hero power, you might want to start up the game, play the tutorial, and then jump back into this video. Number 3, minions to target with this hero, mainly on those turns when you've dug up your golden minion and get to discover a minion from a higher tavern tier. And number 4, a breakdown of my decisions throughout this gameplay. We won't talk through every single decision, but instead cover the more important ones like minion selection throughout the mid and late game, positioning, and general strategy. Let's jump in. Eudora's hero power. What does it do and why is it strong? So basically you hit the hero power button 4 times and you're given a random golden minion of your current tavern tier or below. But this is a true golden minion, so when you play it, you are also able to discover a minion from a higher tavern tier. Let's break this down a little more into why this is so strong. So you use 4 mana and get a golden minion and a discover from a higher tavern tier. So without this hero power, you need to spend 9 gold in order to get this same value. Wait, is that math right? I'm gonna get my calculator. 3 times 3 equals... Yep, the math checks out. 9 gold. But wait, there's more. The hero power then resets, allowing you to do the same thing all over again. You'll typically get no less than 2 and no more than 4 cycles with your hero power per game. I normally get 3 and then depending on the game, either stop hero powering because I don't think the game will last long enough for me to cycle through again, or if I'm feeling frisky, get through my 3rd cycle and start to hero power again and go for a 4th. That decision will change game to game, which then transitions us into our second point of when to start hero powering and when to level. This is where the debate in the community starts to creep in. Some people think you start on turn 1 and forgo buying a minion to hero power. Others, like myself, don't think that's a good idea, with a few exceptions which I'll talk about. Really quick, why I don't like to hero power on turn 1 instead of buying a minion, because I feel it's too big of a sacrifice. You not only will lose the first and possibly even the second turn of the game, but you are also floating, aka wasting 2 gold. I'd rather invest my gold into a minion that I can sell later on and one that can fight on turn 1, so I greatly reduce my risk of losing that first turn. That's why I prefer to start hero powering on turn 2. There are some exceptions though. For example, if you play AFK on turn 1, sure, go ahead and hero power. Or if you get a token minion on turn 1, an alley cat or a Murloc Tidehunter, I will sell off the token minion that spawned from the battle cry and hero power. Otherwise, I prefer to buy a minion on turn 1, then on turn 2 buy another minion, and then start to hero power. And from there, I typically follow the Reform curve, where I keep buying minions on Tavern 1 and level to Tavern 2 on 6 gold. At that point, you'll have 1 more dig left to discover your golden minion, so that following turn on 7 gold, you immediately level again, hero power, and discover what we hope is a good golden minion, and then play it to discover what will now be a Tavern 4 minion. Expect to have taken some damage up until this point, but this is now where we get a giant power spike and aim to start slapping our opponents like Nate Diaz. And then we start digging again next turn. In this next cycle of hero powering, build your board and damn it, level to Tavern 4 at 9 gold. Unless Bob offers you something you just can't pass up. We'll want to target minions that either are just good, strong minions, or ones that complement your golden minion and or the Tavern 4 minion that you discovered. You really want to start to snowball at this point, put pressure on the other dweebs in the lobby. Continue this process until you are down to one more dig left. We should be at Tavern 4 at this point. Here you want to level to Tavern 5. Make sure to level first so you get the chance to discover a golden Tavern 5 minion, then hero power, and get your random golden minion. Why is it important to be at Tavern 5 for the end of this second hero power cycle? Because then you can play your golden minion and discover those juicy Tavern 6 minions. This will give you another big power spike. From there, I typically start to hero power again, but not always. If I'm at the end of a buy phase and see a minion that would greatly improve my board, but I'm unable to buy that minion and hero power, well, in that case, I'll skip the hero power and buy that minion. There's a longer discussion on how broken this hero power is, just simply due to gold economy created from the hero power, but I won't bore you with that. That's actually the topic of my thesis for my master's degree in Battlegrounds from the University of... Really, what the fuck are you talking about? Just get on with the video. So if you've been paying attention to the video, I did not follow the leveling advice we just went over. I was offered a deck swappy in turn 1, which then allowed me to level and hero power on turn 2. Is that the ideal first 2 turns for this hero? I don't know. I don't have all the answers, muchachos. I'm still learning the nuances of this game just like you. But I do think it's a viable alternative to following the standard farm leveling curve. Eudora does offer a lot of flexibility in playstyle, which makes her one of the most interesting and fun heroes to play in the game. Now that we've covered a general strategy, let's quickly talk about minion prioritization before we jump into the gameplay breakdown. As you see, I've just finished the first cycle of my hero power, got my golden minion, and discovered my Tavern 4 minion, both of which weren't very good. Golden, unstable ghoul, not really what you're looking for. Then I was offered some fairly weak Tavern 4 choices and decided to grab the Iron Sensei over the Hydra. I'm not thrilled about it, but an early Sensei isn't the worst. It's free scaling every turn. So what Tavern 4 minions would I prefer here over the Sensei? The top choice, Gold Grubber. This greedy little bastard is the main minion you'll be targeting with this discovered. Since you'll be getting 2 to 3 golden minions from your hero power, plus the ones you'll naturally be getting from rolling and buying, he'll grow faster than Shaq's kids when they hit puberty. Other minions I typically look for are High Mane, Herald of the Flame, Egg, or even Security Rover, Kobold, or even a Siege Breaker. Or if I have a good amount of pirates on board, I'll even look to grab a Ripped Snarl Captain. Basically, you just want to hit that big power spike. Grab a big, powerful minion and put those stats on your board. So we're able to level a turn early here since we're matched against the Yogg AFKer. Anoia module is a very good find, and decided to take the spawn over the Herald of the Flame. I think I can still scale the Sarlisk, and spawn is still pretty good at this point, but now that I'm rewatching, I think the Herald was probably the better choice here. And we slam the hero power button. Hook Tusk doesn't stand a chance against Golden Unstable Ghoul. So now looking at my board, not that great. I need to start finding some stronger minions. I'm not too worried about direction yet, meaning I don't think I need to start focusing in on what tribe to strive for endgame, although I'm starting to see the makings of a Death Rattle mech kind of build going on. But for now, we'll just be looking to get stronger. Gotta love seeing that gold grubbing goon. He's a good find. I also grab an Egg, another good minion. If there was ever a time for this stupid unstable ghoul to die first, it's now. But that doesn't happen. The stupid Robosaur runs himself into the worst minion on board, and we end up taking a lot of damage here. Now is when we follow that leveling curve we talked about earlier. We have one dig left, so we level to Tavern 5, hero power in Skadoosh, Golden Murazan. Man, that is an awesome golden minion here. The Battleground gods have shined their light of prosperity on me. Tavern 6 minions aren't the greatest, but not the worst. Full Reaper is the obvious choice here.
Safety restrictions online. Harvesting servos engaged.
I then play the golden minion I got from the Murzon Battlecry and just grab the strongest discover, which is the boat. I also sell off the other mechs on my board so I can start scaling my Full Reaper with the Sensei buffs each turn. That and the Gold Grubber need to be my carry units moving forward. Close fight against Rafam, but the boat gets me the win. Another round against the AFKer, but really not great minions as I roll through. My thinking is to get Poisonous on the Murloc and to start to go with a half-ass Menagerie build.
Keep up the momentum, friend. Nice work out there. Keep up the pressure.
Grab some buff cards and we find Bran. I now can start to scale my minions. I do get a bit greedy here and hold the Cold Light Seer so I don't float 1 gold, but you know, sometimes greed is good. Now we're feeling good. Goal here is just find strong buff cards and begin to buff away. I think about if I can get this Hydra on my board, but it would involve me selling off my Divine Shield Taunt, and I figure I already have a big cleave. Let's just keep scaling that bad boy. The cost to scale the Hydra up would be a little bit too much at this point in the game, so I'll keep my board as is and use that last open slot to rotate in and out buff cards. A couple of decent buff cards at the end of my turn here. I freeze for it. That's a lot of Divine Shields. Kinda missing my Ghoul buddy right about now. Speaking of ghouls, terrible death rattle summons from the gas coil are there for him. Battleground gods are still holding me in high favor. So a few general gameplay tips as we throw these buffs onto our minions. Something that I've noticed lower ranked players don't do enough of is think about what their opponents have on their board. Not just composition, but also the stats on their minions. It's important to think through these things to make sure you can effectively counter their builds. You don't want to keep buffing, say, a taunted Foe Reaper if you know your opponent has a bunch of Divine Shields and it'll die after it gets its one attack in. Start to think through how to apply buffs, how to best position your minions to counter your opponent's positioning, and if you need to grab any tech cards like Unstable Ghoul and Zap to trump your opponents. I get my third hero power cycle off, grab a Zap and cross my fingers. At this point, me and Sunstrider are really just playing for second place as Rafam has a Murloc build and looks like he's beating up on the lobby. Big positioning mistake there. We are lucky to be alive, but now we know we need to bump her out front to knock off the Divine Shield of his huge taunt, followed by a poison to immediately kill it. But first things first, we need to win this next fight against Sunstrider. I grab the Primal Fin as free buffs for my Murloc, and then find a Murozond, another free minion to buy. And what I mean by free is that I'll be able to recoup my initial investment of 3 gold that it costs to buy each of those minions. Both the Primal Fin and the Murozond will give me 2 minions from their battle cry, which I can then sell along with the original Primal Fin and Murozond, which will net me my 3 gold back, my initial investment to buy that minion. A quick Battlegrounds finance crash course for you. Second Foe Reaper, sure thanks. And I end up just leveling. I do want to try and triple the Foe Reaper, and I really only had the gold left to buy 1, maybe 2 more minions if I get lucky. So instead of hoping I find good buff cards, I just level. Happy days, we secure second place. Let's get this over with, Rafam. Anyone else getting a little annoyed with Divine Shield Murlocs? Yeah, same. Finding a Noil module, triple the Foe Reaper, grabbing my Axna, but none of this matters, we've already accepted our fate. Final note, I picked this game to go over because it really showcases how strong Eudora is. I don't get very good golden minions and discovers, but I'm still able to easily get a second place, and if that Rafam didn't have Divine Shield poisonous Murlocs, we even could have won it. The value you get from a hero power is just bonkers. Lose some fights in the early game, but then after finishing the first hero power cycle and level of Tavern 3, you get stronger than a juiced up strongest man contestant. Follow the tips we went over for her, and you too will get this juiced. Make sure to be on Tavern 3 after your first hero power cycle, Tavern 5 after your second hero power cycle, and you'll be getting a lot more high finishes with her. Good luck in your games and Godspeed, nerds.